Welcome to the Lunchtime Broadcast, where we highlight the news making waves ranging from current affairs, community stories, sports, and economic news. Here are the headlines. Swapo Party Secretary General says there is nothing untoward about her recent trip to China. Drought relieves stolen food worth $100,000 million uncovered. And Zuma barred from standing for election to Parliament, ConCourt rules. I am Glenn Orashipura, and this is NMH at 1. In our midday news update, the Constitutional Court has found that former President of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, is not eligible to stand for election to the country's National Assembly. The ConCourt delivered its ruling this morning, ruling in favor of the Electoral Commission of South Africa. In a unanimous judgment, the Apex Court found that there was no difference between a conviction of a criminal offense, and civil conviction for contempt of court. This court concludes that Zuma was convicted of an offense and sentenced to more than 12 months for the purpose of Section 47(1)(e) of the Constitution and is accordingly not eligible to be a member of and not qualified to stand for election to the National Assembly until 5 years have elapsed since the completion of his sentence. Justice Leona Teron read the judgment. Visual News highlights local stories from across Namibia. Right after the break, we get into that.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Let's take a look at our visual news. Swapo Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa says the party shares a special relationship with the Chinese Communist Party and that there is nothing untoward following her recent trip to China amid allegations that Swapo is seeking funding from that party. Mariette Gula was there.
I would like to clear it categorically clear that the political bilateral relations between Swapo Party and the Communist Party of China has been there since the days prior to independence. And this relationship has been established by Comrade Semlo Yoma, our first president of the party and that of the Republic of Namibia. And I would like it also to be made it very clear that I'm not the first Secretary General to visit the Communist Party of China. It is a continuous process, and it shall be a continuous process that the two parties will assist each other up until something perhaps happened between us. But for now, we are having that sisterly friendship, and we will continue to respect that on mutual basis.
The newspaper review segment takes us into the top stories in Namibia's daily newspapers. Do stick around for that.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Let's take a look at our daily newspapers, starting off with the Namibian Sun's front page, which reports that government's attempts to feed the poor and vulnerable are being hampered as opportunists, mainly civil servants, allegedly divert the aid to themselves and in some instances sell it. On Friday, a Namibian police raid culminated in the seizure of stolen drought relief food worth $100,000 Namibian at a farm in the Oshikoto region's Gwinas constituency. According to the police weekend's crime report, the discovery was made at Leopold's farm after the intelligence-led operation and a search was conducted. The food was found in the farmhouse. The paper's page 4 reports that there has been a shocking increase in the online sexual exploitation and abuse of children across Africa. News reports from the continent's leading child rights group have found. Among the findings by the Africa Child Policy Forum and Child Fund are that in some countries, around a fifth of children under 17 have received unsolicited online requests to talk about sex or sexual acts. After almost 9 months as a patient at the Windhoek Central Hospital, Bennett Bessinger emerged victorious from an arduous health battle and was able to return home earlier this month. He has been a quadriplegic for the past 27 years after being involved in a motorcycle accident at the age of 22. His recovery and discharge from the hospital was celebrated with a short service by a priest and his family, together with the hospital. Still with health, the paper's page 3 reports that doctors and nurses at Oshakati State Hospital sedate mentally disturbed patients to protect themselves. This is due to a serious shortage of psychotropic medication, which the hospital has not received for months. On the front page of the Allgemeine Zeitung reports that according to the Prime Minister, Namibia has seen a significant decline in HIV incidence over the past 20 years and has promoted malaria and tuberculosis prevention initiatives across the country. The paper's page 3 reports that a further delay in the Harvey Boulder murder trial has resulted in yet another adjournment of the trial. Judge Herman Oosthuizen informed all those present that the verdict is not yet available. The criminal proceedings were adjourned until July. On the other side of the break, we continue with our newspaper review.
Are you tired of just hanging around at home while waiting for something to do? Check out eticket.diary.my.na for what's hot on the social scene across the country. Or if you're arranging an event you'd like us to feature, contact Jareen at we.com.na. We can sell your tickets too.
In the second half of our newspaper review, we start off with the Namibian's front page, which reports some mine workers' union of Namibia leaders have questioned payments of around $2 million Namibian made to Johannes Deutapo, the chairperson of a mine workers' investment company owned by the same union. The scrutiny stems from concerns of potential conflict of interest since Deutapo reports to the same union that hired him for private work. The Bank of Namibia says that the National Technical Working Group on Illicit Financial Flows uncovered that the country lost more than $1 billion Namibian in fraud related to clearing and customs since 2018. This was said in a statement by Born spokesperson Kadembire Dembruka on Friday. On the New Era's front page, Trade Minister Lucia Ipumbu has called for a tangible connection between the 2 decades-old African Growth and Opportunity Act and the relatively new kid on the block, the African Continental Free Trade Area. This is to ensure easy access to the lucrative United States market. For years, driving around Impalila Island has been a daunting challenge due to its rocky surface, which becomes muddy and sticky, particularly during the rainy season. This will be something of the past after Works Minister and Deputy Prime Minister John Mutora last Thursday officiated the opening of the low-volume seal road that was constructed at Impalila Island in the Zambezi region. The $151 million 25-kilometer project included the construction of minor access roads to public institutions on the island, among them the secondary school, the clinic, the office of the president, the Navy base, and the immigration office. Moving over to Market Watch, Paratus Namibia Holdings Limited has successfully raised over $600 million through its recent rights issue and investment drive, which was fully subscribed. This significant capital infusion has effectively doubled the company's market capital on the Namibia Stock Exchange. The capital has been sourced from a diverse group of investors, including the Paratus Group, institutional investors, Paratus employees, and retail investors. Moving on, Ongos Valley Development and Letšego Namibia recently inked a funding agreement. We'll delve into these in economic news after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Getting into our economic news, Ongos Valley Development and Letšego Namibia last week, inked a funding agreement that will allow prospective homeowners the opportunity to finance their homes in the development project situated on the outskirts of Windhoek. Highlighting the significance of the agreement, Letšego Namibia CEO Esther Kali said it was part of the bank's goals to help solve Namibia's housing crisis. We can fund any customer who needs to acquire a home, and one of the things we are really looking at is how we can help customers afford a home to be able to consolidate whatever debt to be incorporated into the funding, she said. The bank was further fulfilling a socio-economic outcome. Kali added, owning a home is not only a dream, it is a fundamental right, and together we are making this dream a reality for all Namibians, she added. Ongos Valley is situated 14 kilometers from Windhoek's central business district west of Nubwames. The area covers 1,743 hectares and is intended to become a self-sustaining walkable city, according to its developers. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.06, against the euro at 19.77, against the US dollar at 18.19. 2 Namibian dollars and 51 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the Namibia Stock Exchange, Namibia Breweries Limited went up at 0.03%, while First Rand Namibia Limited went down at 0.50%, while Letšego Holdings Namibia Limited went up at 2.50%. On the commodities market, gold, copper and Brent crude oil went up, while platinum went down. Brent crude oil trading at 0.07%, going for $84 and 11 cents per barrel. Overall index went down at 0.05%, while the local index went up at 0.12%. Stories from the African continent coming up after this short interval.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. replay Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Getting into the news from across the continent, the streets of Congo's capital, Kinshasa, appeared calm on Sunday after the army announced it had foiled a coup attempt earlier in the day. Dozens of gunmen stormed the president's office calling for his ouster. The army's spokesperson, General Slavian Ekenge, confirmed the arrest of the coup planners. In the early hours of Sunday at the Palais de la Nation, armed men in military uniform raided the office of President Felix Tshisekedi, who was not present at the time. The army engaged the assailants, killing some of them and restoring calm in the city. Here is the full report, courtesy of Reuters.
The Democratic Republic of Congo Army says it stopped an attempted coup on Sunday. Here's Army spokesman Sylvain Ekenge.
The armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo inform our citizens and the international community that an attempted coup d'etat has been nipped in the bud by the defense and security forces. The attempt involved foreigners and Congolese. These foreigners and Congolese were put out of action, including their leaders.
Ekenge told Reuters that some 50 people had been arrested, including 3 American citizens, and that the leader of the operation had been killed. A Reuters reporter said gunfire rang out around 4 a.m. in the capital Kinshasa. Ekenge said armed men attacked the presidency in the city center. Another attack took place at the nearby home of Vital Kamerhe, a member of parliament who is tipped to become speaker. Accounts of the second attack came in posts on X by the Japanese ambassador and Kamerhe's spokesman, who said that 2 guards and an attacker had been killed at the residence. Ekenge named the leader of the attempted coup as Christian Malanga, a U.S.-based Congolese politician. A live-stream video on Facebook showed Malanga inside the presidential palace shortly before he was killed by authorities. Malanga is seen railing against the Congo president Felix Tshisekedi and his ally Kamerhe, the suspected target of the reported second attack.
We, the military, are tired. We can't put up with Tshisekedi and Kamerhe any longer. They've messed up this country too much. We've lived abroad, and when we see the social situation of the soldiers' children, it's unacceptable.
Felix, you out!
Felix must go. Felix, you're out.
Tshisekedi was re-elected for a second term as president in December, but has yet to name a government. In the wake of the attack on Sunday, residents of Kinshasa were left with more questions than answers.
We don't even know who these people are. What is happening in the country is not right. The palace of the nation has always been very secure. How did they get there?
U.S. Ambassador Lucy Tamlin said in a post on social media that she was, quote, very concerned by the reported involvement of American citizens, and that the embassy would cooperate fully with authorities in their investigation. The United Nations Stabilization Mission in the DRC said that its chief condemned the incidents in the strongest terms.
Getting into our next story, Mozambique will introduce a new series of medical notes and coins from June 16, 2024, which will progressively replace those that have been in circulation since 2006, the central bank governor announced on Friday. Central banks tend to review their notes and coins in circulation every 5 years in order to adapt them to new trends in design, security, and other contextual elements, explained Rogerio Zandamela in a statement to the press on the headquarters of the Bank of Mozambique, justifying why the institution decided to review the medical notes and coins. At a session attended by administrators of commercial banks operating in the country, the central bank governor added that the new series, which will be launched on the day of the medical Mozambican currency launch on June the 16th, 1975, maintains the current 6 banknotes, the denominations of 1,000, 500, and 200 meticais on paper substrate, and the denominations of 150 and 20 meticais on polymer substrate, explained Rogerio Zandamela. The coins of 20 and 5 cents will be removed from the new series, maintaining the denominations of 10, 5, 2, and 1 meticals and those of 50, 10, and 1 cent. On the other side of this short break, we'll be taking a look at our international news.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Getting into our international news, Iran's 3 branches of government held an extraordinary meeting on Monday with First Vice President Mohammad Mokhbar representing the executive branch following the death of President Ibrahim Raisi in a helicopter crash, state TV said. We will follow the path of President Raisi in fulfilling assigned duties without any interruption, Mokhbar said. The 3 branches to which state TV referred are the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. If a president dies in office, the Islamic Republic's constitution says that the first vice president takes over for an interim period of 50 days with the approval of the supreme leader who has the final say in all matters of state in Iran. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi and his foreign minister were killed in a helicopter crash in mountainous terrain and icy weather, an Iranian official said this morning after search teams located the wreckage in East Azerbaijan province. Taiwan President Lai Ching-te asked China on Monday to stop its military and political threats, saying in his inauguration speech that peace is the only choice and that Beijing had to respect the choice of the Taiwanese people. Lai, addressing the crowd outside the Japanese colonial-era presidential office in central Taipei, repeated a call for talks with China, which views the proudly democratic island as its own territory and has never renounced the use of force to bring it under Beijing's control. I also want to urge China to stop intimidating Taiwan politically and militarily and to take on the global responsibility with Taiwan to work hard on maintaining peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and in the region to ensure the world is without the fear of war breaking out, he said. We also want to declare this to the world. Taiwan makes no concessions on democracy and freedom. Peace is the only option and prosperity is our goal for long-term peace and stability. China's foreign ministry asked about the inauguration and said that Taiwan's independence is a dead end and that no matter under the banner, succession is doomed to fail. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our local sports news.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our local sports news, Abed Shikongo expressed great joy after becoming the new WBA Pan-Africa welterweight champion and maintaining his unbeaten record late Saturday night. The MTC Salute Boxing Academy fighter stopped previously unbeaten Alpheus Shanika MTC nested Tobias Sunshine Boxing Academy in the 6th round to claim the prestigious continental title at the Roman Catholic Hospital Hall in Windhoek. The Standard Bank Namibia Secondary Schools Rugby Under-19 Premier League kicked off with all 8 teams in action last weekend in the match at Afis Park, live-streamed by NTV on DSTV Channel 285 and GoTV Channel 25. Autohaus Windhoek Afrikaans Private School scored the narrowest of wins by 24-23 against an enterprising comeback Tsumeb Gymnasium. Joined defending champions King Prize Kuro Windhoek Gymnasium and Samsung Windhoek High School also got off to a good start after winning their games comfortably. Namibia Rugby Union Premier League log leader FNB Unam consolidated their position by pocketing a home win against FNB Kudus in Walvis Bay. Unam clinched a 35-22 victory at the Jan Wilkens Stadium, while FNB Wanderers moved up from 3rd to 2nd place, overtaking Kudus, who dropped to 3rd place. In an exhilarating match, the majority of the points were scored in the first half. By halftime, the score stood at 28-17. In the second half, Unam's right wing Quirion Majid intercepted a pass and ran like the wind to place the ball directly under the goal post. The try was successfully converted by fullback Aljariu Zal, cementing the win for the students. Let's take a look at our international sports news.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads. 1.85 for the national record. Here's another chance, and it is a goal from
Wij zijn CVI is er aan neertrekken. Hij bal lijkt mij grond gevat. Ja, hij heeft grond gevat. En dan zien we
running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love that. I love that. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
Getting into our international sports news, manager Roberto De Zerbi hopes to find work in England's top-flight soccer league again following his departure from Brighton and Hove Albion, the Italian coach said after Sunday's 2-0 defeat to Manchester United. De Zerbi joined Brighton in September 2022, replacing Graham Potter. The 44-year-old made an instant impact when he secured the club's highest Premier League finish, 6th, and helped it qualify for European competition for the first time. Brighton finished 11th in the league this season and reached the last 16 of the Europa League. On the other side of the break, we'll be taking a look at the highlights from today's broadcast. Look. Here are the highlights from today's broadcast. DR Congo's capital, Kinshasa, was calm on Sunday after the army announced it had foiled a